Hello, this is Ashlisha Ardatra from Computer Technology Department. Today we continue the lecture AWT Controls Part 2. The next control is lists. The list class provides a compact multiple choice scrolling selection list. Unlike the choice object, which shows only the single selected item in the menu, a list object can be constructed to show any number of choices in the visible window. It can also be created to allow multiple selections. The list provides the following constructors. First, list, that is empty construction, which creates a list control that allows only one item to be selected at any one time. The second, which has parameter integer number of rows. The second form, the value of num rows specifies the number of entries in the list that will always be visible. Other can be scrolled into view as needed. And the third constructor has two parameters, that is integer num rows and boolean multiple select. In this form, if multiple select is true, then the user may select two or more items at a time, and if it is false, then only one item may be selected. For adding a selection to the list, we can call add function. It has the following two forms. First, void add string name, and second one is void add string name comma integer index. Here, name is the name of the item added to the list, and the index is the index of that specified item, and indexing begins at 0. We can specify -1 to add the item to the end of the list. So basically there are two forms for adding the list. One is only string and second one is adding the index or passing the index number for that item. For lists that allow only single selection, we can determine which item is currently selected by calling either getSelectedItem or getSelectedIndex. These methods are shown below. First, string getSelectedItem, which returns a string containing the name of the item. If more than one item is selected or no selection has yet been made, null is returned. And the second method is integer getSelectedIndex. The getSelectedIndex returns the index of the item. The first item is at index 0. If more than one item is selected or if no selection has yet been made, -1 is returned. For lists that allow multiple selection, we must use either getSelectedItems or getSelectedIndexes. The methods shown below. String array getSelectedItems and integer array getSelectedIndexes. The getSelectedItems returns an array containing the name of the currently selected items, whereas the getSelectedIndexes returns an array containing the indexes of the currently selected item. In order to obtain the number of items in the list, call getItemCount method. We can set the currently selected item by using the select method with a 0 based integer index. These methods are shown here. The first method is integer getItemCount, and second void select parameter integer index, where in this method, given an index, we can obtain the same associated with the item at that index by calling getItem, which has this general form: string getItem in bracket integer index. Here index specifies the index of the desired item. So this is the example of list. Here I am creating the list object, declaring the list object as OS and browser, where I am going to perform a list of operating systems and the name of browsers. Here OS is equal to new list 4 and true, means I am going to add 4 items on that list and setting the operation to true. And also in browser I am going to add 4 items on list and default is my false. So the name of my operating systems I am going to add on the list are Windows, Windows 2000, Solaris and macOS. Same for browser. So here I am going to add the object of my list on the applet by using add method. Here there is one statement that browser dot select one, where which means that the item indexed at one position is going to be selected. And here I am using the other methods of list, that will get selected indexes, which is the array containing the number of items underlying at OS object. So whatever the items are under OS object is there, they are going to return the values. The string is going to return in the form of array, same as for the browser. So let's see what will be the output of this code. See here I am going, there is my operating system list and there is browser list. So this will be your output of your list. Next, scroll bars. Scroll bars are used to select continuous values between a specified minimum and maximum. Scroll bars may be oriented horizontally or vertically. A scroll bar is actually a composite of several individual parts. Each end has an arrow that we can click to move the current value of the scroll bar 1 unit in the direction of the arrow. The current value of the scroll bar relative to its minimum and maximum values is indicated by the slider box for the scroll bar. The slider box can be dragged by the user to a new position. The scroll bar will then reflect this value. In the background space or either side of the thumb, the user can click to cause the thumb to jump in the direction by some increment larger than 1. Typically, this action translates into some form of page up and page down. Scroll bars are encapsulated by the scroll bar class. Scroll bar defines the following constructor. The empty scroll bar. This is the first form, creates a vertical scroll bar. The second one is by passing the parameter integer style. In this form, it allows us to specify the orientation of the scroll bar. And the third is by passing the style with the values in the parameter of integer I value, integer t size, integer min and integer max. That is, if style is scroll bar dot vertical, a vertical scroll bar is created, and if style is scroll bar dot horizontal, the scroll bar is horizontal. According to the third form, the initial value of the scroll bar is passed in I value, and the number of units represented by the height of the thumb is passed by the t size. The minimum and maximum values for the scroll bars are specified by min and max. If we construct a scroll bar using one of the first two constructors, then we need to set its parameter by using set values as shown below. Void set values, integer I values, integer t size, integer minimum and integer maximum. The parameters have the same meaning as they have in third constructor just described. In order to obtain the current value of the scroll bar, call getValue. It returns the current setting. For setting the current value, we can use setValue. These methods are as follows. First one is getValue, and for setting, void setValue by passing the parameter the new value. The new value specifies the new value for the scroll bar. When we set a value, the slider box inside the scroll bar will be positioning to reflect the new value. We can also retrieve the minimum and maximum values via getMinimum and getMaximum as shown below. Integer getMinimum and integer getMaximum, they return the requested quantity. By default, 1 is the increment added to or subtracted from the scroll bar each time it is scrolled up or down one line. We can change this increment by calling setUnitIncrement method. By default, page up and page down increments are 10. You can change this value by calling setBlockIncrement. These methods are shown here. First, void setUnitIncrement by passing the new incremented value in the integer form, and second one is setBlockIncrement by passing the new increment value in integer form. So by using these two methods, we can change the increment value. First, declare the object of scroll bar. Here, set the values for height and width. For vertical scroll bar, set the style scroll bar dot vertical by passing initial value, thumb value, minimum and maximum. Same as for horizontal scroll bar. By setting style scroll bar dot horizontal, initial value, thumb value, minimum and maximum. After defining the scroll bar, add it to the applet by using add method. So this is the example of your scroll bar. When we execute the program successfully, the window will appear as shown here. The next control is text field. The text field class implements a single line text entry area, usually called an edit control. The text field allows the user to enter strings and to edit the next text using the arrow keys, cut and paste keys, and mouse selections. The text field is a subclass of text component. Text field defines the following constructor. First one is text field with empty constructor. This version creates a default text field. Second, text field by passing parameter integer numchar, which creates a text field that is numchar characters wide. The third one is text field string str. This form initializes the text field with the string contained in str. Fourth, text field string str comma integer num characters, which initializes a text field and set its width. The text field provides several methods that allow us to utilize a text field. In order to obtain the string currently contained in the text field, we can use getText method, and for setting the text we can call setText method. The methods are defined below: string getText, and second void setText parameter string str. Here the str is the new string. The user can select a portion of the text in a text field. Also, we can select a portion of text under program control by using select method. For setting the text, we call setText, which is declared as string getText. Second one is void setText string str. Our program can obtain the currently selected text by calling the getSelectedText. These methods are shown below: string getSelectedText, and second void select int start index comma int end index. The getSelectedText returns the selected text, and the select method selects the characters beginning at start index and ending at end index -1. We can control whether the contents of the text field may be modified by the user by calling setEditable. we can determine editability by calling is editable. These methods are shown here. Boolean is editable. It returns true if the text may be changed and false if not. In and the second method is void set editable. By passing parameter boolean can edit. In this, if can edit is true, the text may be changed. If it is false, the text cannot be altered. There are maybe times when we will want the user to enter text that is not displayed, such as a password. You can disable the echoing of the character as they are typing by calling set echo char. This method specifies a single character that text will display when characters are entered but not shown. By using set echo char, we can allow that no one character is shown. The character is typed but not be shown by using method set echo char. This is used for passwords. We can check a text field to see if it is in the mode with the echo char is set function. We can retrieve the echo character by calling the get echo char method, which is declared as follows. First, void set echo char by passing character ch. The ch specifies the character to be echoed. Here we can set the echo character whatever we want. The second is boolean echo char is set, and third char get echo char. So these are the methods which is used to set echo char and retrieve the echo char. These methods are mostly used for the password type of text field. Create the object of text field and add it on the applet. Here there is one line where echo char is set by using method set echo char to question mark. Means your character are not shown in the password field. Instead of character, the question mark is shown as a echo character. So while we execute the program successfully, the window will appear as shown. Next one is text area. Sometimes a single line of text input is not enough for giving a given task. To handle these situations, the AWT includes a simple multi-line editor called text area. So there are some constructors for text area. First one is text area. Second, text area by passing parameters in integer number of lines and number of characters. Third, text area string str. Next constructor, text area string str comma integer num lines comma integer num characters. Fourth, text area string str comma integer num lines integer num chars comma integer s bars. Here num line specifies the height in lines of the text area and num char specifies its width in characters. Initial text can be specified by str. The fifth form, we can specify the scroll bars that we want the control to have. S bar must be one of the values. Scroll bars under underscore bow scroll bars none. And the values, second value, scroll bars horizontal only, scroll bars vertical only. So these are the values we can assign to the parameter S bars. Text area is subclass of text component. Therefore, it supports the getText, setText, getSelectedText, select, isEditable and setEditable methods described in preceding section of text field. Text area adds the following methods. First method is void append. It appends the string specified by the str to the end of the current text. Next one is void insert by passing parameter string str comma integer index. It inserts the string passed in the str at the specified index. Third, void replace range. Parameters string str integer start index comma integer end index. In order to replace text, we can replace range. We call replace range. It replaces the characters from start index to end index with the replacement text passed in str. Text areas are almost self-contained controls. So this is the example of text area. In string I am passing some sentences as a para and creating the text area object and passing the string with the height and width for the text area. So while we successfully execute the program, the window will appear as shown here. So this is all about the text area. So conclusion. In this we covered all the AWT controls with example. The AWT controls which are labels, push buttons, checkboxes, choice list, scroll bars, text area and text field. Hope this will be helpful in your study. Thank you.